guys, it's Sandra and today we're gonna do a colorful makeup. Well, I guess most of my looks are, but never mind. Another one, and this one is inspired by an artist called Lizzo, I think her name is pronounced. Now, I don't know her, I'm clearly not down with the cool kids, but I've seen Nikki Tutorials posting a video on Twitter. It's just down in front of me on my phone, that's where I'm looking down. And her makeup looked amazing. She's wearing this bright yellow eyeshadow, but it looks like it has sort of like a glittery like frame around it, if you will. And I don't want a whole look, don't want really glitter under my eyes, but I quite like the look, so I decided to recreate some sort of version of this look. Really, I really like it. The song sounds familiar, so maybe I heard it on the radio, I'm not sure, but she was performing at the VMAs the other night and she has great energy, I have to say, so I might have to look into her music. But for now, we're just gonna stick to the makeup and hop into it. I have a few products already arranged in front of me and yeah, let's go. Alright, there is glitter involved, so of course we start with my eyes, and please ignore that. I don't know why it sort of seems like almost a pimple right under my eye. It's really odd, but it's been there for the past few days, so I'm hoping it's gonna go away. I don't know. Anyone knows what that is? I've never had a pimple under my eye in my life. But without blabbering, let's go. So I'm gonna start with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, and this is the original one without any color to it. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of this on my eyes to prime them. And the eyeshadow look that she's wearing seems to be going quite high on her lids. Like, I want to say all the way to her brows, and to be fair, it's quite hard to see. It's a really strong makeup, but obviously she's jumping around on stage and just, you know, doing her thing, performing. And I tried to Google it, but there are not many images where you can really see her eyeshadow look, so I'm just gonna try my best. And again, it's not gonna be an exact replica, it's more like an inspired kind of look, so that's fine. But it looked amazing. I'm just gonna set this look with a translucent powder, and I'm gonna use the Essence All About Matte Fixing Powder. And the reason why I'm doing this is because it's a really tacky base, and I'm afraid that if I don't do this, I can't blend out that yellow as much as I want to. And from what I've seen, and well, with what I'm going anyway, it seems like the yellow is a bit more faded away on the center of her lids, and then it's a bit stronger around the frame where there's loads of glitter involved as well. So we'll see. But I want to fade away the yellow anyway a bit more on my lids, whereas opposed to with most of my looks I have a more strong look on the lid and then fade it away. We're not going to do that this time. The yellow I'm going to use for this look is from the Huda Beauty Electric Obsessions palette, and if I show you my palette, you can see it's really well loved. I hit pan on several shades, especially the yellow one. What can I say? I do like a good yellow, so it was quite obvious when I've seen this look that I want to recreate some sort of version of it, and that's what we're doing. To apply this, I think I'm gonna go in with a blending brush like the MAC 217 and just tap it on my lid first, and then just blend away the edges. And again, I'm gonna bring this up quite high. Even higher than that. Sort of like so. Which is a lot more than what I usually do. And now I'm just gonna build up the intensity. I'm just trying to build up the intensity more in the outer corner, but I feel like this way the middle looks a bit patchy, and on camera you can't even really see the color. Now I definitely can in real life, but what I might do, I just build up the same eye to the whole intensity, and I have another yellow next to me. I might try to deepen it up a little bit with that, or just change the color, and if it doesn't work we're gonna add a glitter layer anyway. So there goes my idea of keeping it all faded in the middle, but I just feel like that way it looks a bit patchy. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's a lot better. I do like this Huda palette. It has beautiful colors, and I got it from my good friend for Christmas 2 years ago, I think. And I haven't really stopped loving it since. So thank you, Michaela. It was a great present. You do know me. And I think you started my love for yellow, I have to say. I probably could have put down a yellow base, but never mind. I'm just gonna even out the other eye as well. Alright, now that both of my eyes are quite yellow, I'm gonna just take a wipe and wipe away any fallout and shape the inner corner a bit here, as I went out a bit too far. And then I'm gonna be back and we do the glitter bits. Alright, now that the area is somewhat clean, I'm gonna go in just with a gold eyeshadow pencil. This is from Essence, it's the Effect Eye Pencil in the shade, does it have a shade name? Gold Digger. And I just sort of want to outline where I'm gonna put the glitter, just so once I get to that part I'm not gonna faff around too much. And this is already gold like the glitter is gonna be, so I think it's just sort of stenciling it out. And you know what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep my eyes open because I want the glitter to be seen once my eyes open. So I have a little mirror in front of me. I open my eyes, I look straight in the mirror. Sorry if the mirror is in the picture, but I sort of have to see what I'm doing here. And okay, I have to open or close my eyes a bit so it doesn't drag on my skin. Alright, so I'm not sure how much you can see of it. I think you can a little bit, so there's a slight outline. It's not too dark, but it gives me a perfect idea of sort of where I want the glitter to be, and I don't want to bring it down anymore. If anything, it's going to be on and above the line, and I'm just going to repeat the same on the other side. Okay, that seems about even. And now for what I'm going to do with the glitter. The two glitters I have are both loose, and I don't want it to fall all over my lid since it's such a specific placement. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mix them with a multitasker, and this is the NYX Multitasker mixing medium. Any kind of mixing medium you have is perfect. The glitter glue might dry a bit too quick, so I'm not sure that would work. That's why I decided with this one, as I have the NYX glitter glue as well, but I think that would dry down too quickly. And also this is a clear mixing medium, whereas that one is a bit more like a skin toned one. And the two glitters I'm gonna mix is Gold by MAC, and then I also have a Kryolan one which is called Pastel Yellow. And the pastel yellow has little bits and specks of green in there as well, and it can pull a bit more green if you apply a lot, even if you apply it on a yellow base. Whereas the gold one itself, as it states, the true gold, it's a bit too much, and I think the mix of these two would work perfectly together. So what I'm gonna do, I have my little palette here in front of me, so I'm gonna put a bit of both glitters in there. And it's going to get really messy. I have a little spatula, but I don't know if I want to use that. Let's see. I will show you once I mix it, don't worry. Not sure I can show you. Oh, So I have this much glitter in there. I don't really want to tilt it more for the camera to focus, I'm sorry, because otherwise the glitter will go everywhere. And I will just put a little smudge of this Multitasker on top. I'm just going to mix it all together with a little brush. And I get something like this. Again. Which doesn't look that great in there, but I'm hoping once it's on my eyes it will be fine. And I'm just going to use an Eco Tools smudger brush. So again, I'm going to have a mirror quite close to my eyes so I can see what I'm doing. Let me zoom in a bit more actually, so you can see it too. Well, here we go. Okay, that's not bad. Again, in the video, hers seem quite messy, so I don't want to be that precise with it, because hers doesn't seem to be. Okay, I quite like that. Ooh, it's so glittery. Okay, I like that. Now the other eye. I'm just gonna haphazardly go over the edge of it with a brush. Again, I don't want it to be too precise. And for now, I'm gonna leave it alone to dry. Another thing I want to do is I want to give a tiny bit more definition to my lash line without giving anything of a too dark look to my lashes. So I'm going to go in with my Illamasqua palette. That's also in my palette, Pando's palettes video, which is an update on those is coming soon. And I'm going to go in on the eyeshadow shade called Faint, but with an EI rather than an AI. And this shade is more of like a burgundy sort of color. And I'm just going to add a little bit of that to my lash line, which I think will complement this yellowy look quite nicely. And again, I don't want anything too strong, so just the tiniest bit. I haven't really decided yet if I want to add any false lashes to this look, so I guess I'm gonna decide that later as we go on. I might not. I don't really know. See, just like so. There's a bit more definition, but nothing too crazy. And I've actually really been liking this shadow as a liner lately. I only started doing that in like the past week and a half, 2 weeks maybe. But I really like this shadow as a liner. It's almost like a warm brown. So as I said, it's just a bit warmer than the black. It still gives enough definition, and that's where we are with the eyes at the moment. Now I'm gonna zoom out. We're gonna move on to complexion, and then we might come back to the eyes later. I will see, and definitely I'm gonna add more bits to the lower lash line as well once the base is complete. First, so my skin is well moisturized, I'm gonna give it a little spritz with the Becca Glow Shield. I feel like you're a bit too far, hold on. There we go. Now I don't want this to go on my eyes, so I'm gonna cover it with this palette. Sorry, I know it gives you some reflection. Okay, a bit on my forehead. I think it's just easier to use my hands. I'm trying to be fancy, why? I don't know. Alright. Now I have a lovely hydrated complexion without ruining my eyes, which is great. Moving on to primer, I'm going to use the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, and as you can see, mine is almost completely empty. So I'm going to scoop out a little bit that I have left and just apply it mainly on my nose, a little bit under my eyes as sort of like an under eye primer. Oh, I already have glitter on my face from my fingers, great. And I'm also gonna add a tiny bit to my forehead. And I want quite a glowy, dewy finish with this look, as I think it's gonna go nicely with the glitter, but nothing too strong, as the eyes are already quite strong enough in itself. I'm gonna move on to foundation. For that I'm gonna use my MAC Face and Body, simply because it's in my project pen and I want to use it up. So it's in my Graveyard project pen, which I might film today, maybe tomorrow morning, haven't fully decided yet. I'm just going to go in with a stippling brush. I guess it's not really a stippling brush, it's more like a, I don't know. Is it? No, it's more like a foundation brush. But again, this foundation doesn't have too much coverage to it, if anything at all. It's even less coverage than my Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder or my Becca Aqua Luminous, and those are more of something that I consider as a blurring foundation as well, as opposed to something really covering. So I might have to just spot conceal, as I have a few darker spots around on my complexion. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to go in with another project pen item, which is concealer this time. And it's my MAC Pro Conceal and Correct palette in light. And I'm just gonna go in with a few shades to spot conceal mainly first, and I can move on to my under eyes. But first I'm just gonna pop it on a few darker spots. Ooh, that's quite a bit of a patch here that I didn't notice. Alright. And I just want to go over the concealer as well and just sort of dab it with my big brush. Or if I'm less lazy, I put the concealer on and dab it with my finger, which to be fair gives me a much better result, but you know, you can choose which method you like and how lazy you are. Some mornings I can be bothered. Alright, once I'm done with all imperfections, I'm gonna go in with a bit of a bigger brush and apply some on my nose where I feel like I need a bit more coverage. Also, this concealer is a little bit lighter than my foundation, but that's okay, it gets blended out. Just because I need, like, with this foundation especially, some areas need a bit more coverage than what Face and Body can provide. And again, as I said before, I used to love that foundation, but lately I just don't feel like it's doing much for me. But there's so little left, I don't want to just throw it away. I would feel much better if I used it up. So I'm just going to try to do that. I'm going to add some extra coverage around the cheeks as well. Just blend it out with a brush. You can already see the difference between this side and that side. It just takes away that shadow there. I'm gonna go in for my under eye lightly as well. And again, I'm gonna put some eyeshadows there, so I'm not too bothered about covering it up perfectly, but at least just put a bit of a base makeup there. There we go, so you can see the difference between the two sides. How don't you just love makeup? I swear I keep seeing there are spiders on my ceiling, even though there's none, but I might be going mad. Okay, one last area where I'm going to put a bit of concealer is above my eyes, as I feel like this helps to even them out once I essentially do my brows. And it's more so just to cover up the tiniest little hairs that are there that you can't really see, but when I fill my brows in, it makes quite a big difference. So I started doing this lately. It's not really carving my brows, it's more just covering up the tiny hairs. And it doesn't really take much time in the morning, but I feel like it makes a huge difference. So I'm gonna do this now as well. Okay, I'm gonna still use quite a few cream products, but I just want to set my under eyes with the same powder that we used before from Essence. And I only set my under eye area, nowhere else, just so the concealer there is not gonna crease on me. And first, to finish off my eyes, I'm gonna go back in with the same MAC 217, as I want to bring the yellow shadow quite a bit down. So I'm just gonna go in with the yellow shadow, tap it off properly, as I don't really want any more fallout at this point. And I'm just gonna blend it under my eye. As I said, I'm gonna bring it down quite a bit. Ooh, and it went into my inner corner. Great. That will have to be cleaned up. Never mind. Maybe I need to go in with a smaller brush. So I'm just changing to the Morphe M506 brush, which is a little blending brush. Like so. Let me clean up the inner corners. I'm just gonna grab the brush I used with the concealer and gently swipe on it. Then go back with the brush I used with the powder. Again, swipe, swipe, and it's gone. I'm gonna repeat the same process under the other eye. Now I'm gonna go back to the Illamasqua palette I used before and that burgundy shade, and I'm gonna smudge a little bit on my lower lash line as well for a bit more definition. Like so. For my eyebrows, I'm just gonna quickly run through the clear brow gel. For now, this is the Wet n Wild Mega Clear Mascara. And I'm just gonna give them time to dry while I do the rest of my face. I'm gonna go in with the Bobbi Brown Pot Rouge in the shade Calypso Coral, which is in my 100% cruelty-free project pan. And also, I just think this blush could complement this look really well if I just apply a small bit of it, just to give my cheeks a little bit of color. And later on, I'm also gonna use this on my lips. And I apply it with a brush, and then I like to go in with my fingers to pat it in. And then usually I just go through it with my foundation brush and just pat it in. And since I was smart enough to forget contouring before, I'm gonna do it now. And for that, I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand in the shade fair to medium. I'm gonna do one side at a time. I'm gonna use my foundation brush. I'm just gonna sort of hold it together like that to help me blend it in around my cheeks. without putting it everywhere. And then just use the edge of it. Like so. And you can see it does add a bit of definition. Well, I can. Hopefully so can you. I'm trying to edit it, but it's either too dark or too light, so I'm really sorry. Natural light, not easy. Okay, so repeat the same process on the other side. And then a tiny bit on the sides of my nose. I'm going to switch to the smaller brush that I used with the concealer earlier to blend it in on my nose. And then I'm going to just go back in with the powder just on my forehead and then my nose. Just to take down the shine in those areas a little bit. I don't want to be shiny fully everywhere. We're gonna go under here. Alright, for a blush, I'm gonna go in with another Project Pen item. And this is the Tom Ford palette, and I'm gonna go in with the Peachy blush in there. Just for a soft with the color on the cheeks. You can see there's a bit of shine too, but we're going to go in with a highlighter anyway. Now to highlight, I'm going to go back in again to the Illamasqua palette, and it has a cream highlight in there. I'm pretty sure it's called like the, what is it called? Like the Gleam light or something like that in the shade Aurora. It's basically a cream highlighter, and I find this works quite well on top of powders, so I'm just gonna add it to the high points of my cheek for a bit of extra glow. Also adding it to my Cupid's bow. Also just right to the bridge of my nose. I'm also going to take a little brush and apply this between the yellow and my brows really carefully. And there's really not much space there. Just a little bit. Okay, to fill in my brows, I'm still using the same Illamasqua palette. And it has a brow powder in there in the shade Thunder, so I'm gonna use that to fill in any gaps in my brows, but I don't want to fill them in too much. They don't need that much filling in. I sometimes mix in a little bit of the black shadow as well, especially around the tail area. For my lips, I'm planning a quite soft peachy pinky look, and I want it to be glossy, just so I think it will look really good with the whole look I have going on. I'm going to start with the NYX Slide On Glide On Stay On, definitely a turn on waterproof extreme something, because I wore it down, extreme something color lip liner. It's a really long name. I usually just call it like Slide On Glide On because everyone will know. And this is in the shade 02 Bed Rose. It's just a beautiful soft pinky look. I'm going to slightly blend it in with my fingers. I don't really want harsh lines. And then I'm going to go back to my Bobbi Brown Pot Rouge and apply it to the rest of my lips. Again, it's the shade Calypso Coral. And again, by itself, it's more of a matte look. So I'm going to go on top of it with a clear gloss, even though it looks yellow. It's the L'Oreal Glam Shine Fresh lip gloss. It's quite an old gloss and I have it in my project pen. But again, I just want a clear gloss really. Better. Mascara, and then we are done with this look. I think some faux freckles could look quite nice with this look as well, but whenever I tried it in the past I extremely mucked it up. So I don't really want to try that. The mascara I'm going for this time, it's not the Better Than Sex. Shocking, I know. I got a little tester of the Charlotte Tilbury Full Fat Lashes mascara. And I tried another Charlotte Tilbury one before. I think she had two before this. I think. Those I didn't really get on well with, but this one, oh, it's so nice. It's quite natural, but still gives enough definition. I really, really like this mascara, so this might be my next purchase. Ooh, I might have to put something in my waterline as well. It feels a bit bare. Yeah, it's a beautiful mascara. But I find it as well, it's quite buildable, so you can apply a few coats if you want, without it clamping your lashes really together, so I appreciate that fact. Oh, look at those lashes. Beautiful. Hold on. Just so you can truly appreciate the Charlotte Tilbury goodness of this mascara. It's so, so pretty. Not sure if it overtakes my Too Faced, but it might. And it's just as shocking to me as to anyone else who knows me and knows how much I love the Better Than Sex mascara, but this is just truly stunning. I also want to try though the new Too Faced mascara, as I haven't tried it yet. I'm also not too sure what's the difference between, let's say, that one and the Too Faced. I don't really know. Like, what's the difference between the new one and the Better Than Sex one? I don't really know. Ta-da! In my waterline, I'm gonna go in with the Linda Hallberg Mood Crayon in the shade Happy Mood, which is just the yellow eyeliner pencil. Probably could have used a brown liner as well, but I wanted the yellow. Alright guys, so this is the finished look that's inspired by Lizzo's VMA stage makeup. This is just a bit more of a wearable version, even though it's still really glittery. I feel like this is something you could wear to a party. You could even give it a bit more glitter. I'm half tempted to use some more glitter, but I think I have to stop myself and be like, no Sandra, this is enough. You don't need more glitter. But yeah, I really, really like it. It's just really fun. It really brings in a pop of color. And I mean, look at that glitter. I wish I could like exactly master the camera setting so you can truly see the colors I see in real life. Because from my viewfinder, it's quite hard to tell if it's true to color or not. I guess I will see once editing. But I truly hope that you at least see sort of what I see. Because that glitter, oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, please enjoy. And let me know, am I the only one? Did I live under a rock who doesn't know Lizzo? Also, let me know what you think of this look. Would you wear this out? Maybe to a festival? We just had Notting Hill Carnival as well in London, which I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a big fan of. I've been once, it's a bit too much for me, but I feel like this could be like a quite tuned back look, just because there, think like Pride, people like crack out the glitter. So I think like this could be like a quite nice version to go to any sort of carnival or festival, but still be colourful but quite laid back. Or again, if you go for a night out with a nice dress, this could be quite a fun glittery look. I'm really enjoying the glow right now. And Again, the rest of my face is quite simple, just because the eyes, at least in real life, are quite strong. And I think that's gonna be it for today. So I'm gonna go now. I hope you have a good day. Let me know what you thought. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. That would mean a lot to me, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. For now, bye bye and have a lovely day. I can see what... Oh, I almost dropped it. Put the lid on my glitters before I knock it over. Oh, and I knocked the lid over. Great job, Sandra.